All right. Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining me tonight. I'm Coach Karen here from B3 Gym. This month's free virtual nutrition talk, we are talking about 3 things that are slowing down your progress in the gym. And we're going to give you one thing that you can do to overcome that obstacle. So I'm going to go ahead and share the screen here and we'll get started with our presentation for tonight. All right. Cool. All right. So just to get started, at B3 Gym, we believe something as fundamental as nutrition shouldn't be complicated. And this is why we focus on a simple habit-based approach to help you reach your goals, one step at a time. Do you ever feel like you're not making progress in the gym? We've all been there. A month or so goes by and we feel like we're not gaining any ground or seeing any improvements. Well, today we're going to talk about why this might be happening and what you can do to improve it so that you don't find yourself feeling stagnant. Before we start, let's take a minute to do a self-assessment. So keeping the holistic aspects in mind, as seen on the first page of your workbook, write out what habits you've already established, what you feel you currently need to work on, and areas you want to dive into in the future. And while you're doing that, if you're not sure what the holistic approach is, it takes into account all of the aspects that are going to affect our health and wellness, right? So it's nutrition, exercise, lifestyle, sleep, stress management, all of those things that when we are able to combine those aspects of our nutrition, fitness, all those things into a better plan, we're able to stay consistent with our habits in those areas. That's when we really start to see good progress with our health and wellness. So while you're taking a minute, you can fill out that page in your workbook. So our nutrition program is backed by Healthy Steps Nutrition, who has helped over 40,000 people all around the world take control of their health. Here are some of our success stories, our members here at B3 Gym. If you're looking to create your own success story, we know that this approach is simple, but it's far from easy. First, we need to figure out what is holding us back from reaching our goals. For many of us, this is the lack of consistency in and outside of the gym. Inconsistency can originate from common barriers that many of us face. We all live a very fast-paced lifestyle that makes it feel nearly impossible to stay consistent with all of the things that we know we should be doing. Many people start with us at the gym because they're unhappy with how they look and how they feel. They start coming to the gym 4 to 5 days a week, but after a few months, they might stop seeing a lot of forward progress. This can lead to feelings of frustration, understandably, and ultimately skipping workouts. What do you think the missing link is in this case? Working with a nutrition coach, of course, is going to be the answer. So we're going to dive into what most of our nutrition and fitness clients do to continue to see progress throughout their fitness journey. We can probably relate to wanting to be more consistent in the gym and continue seeing progress. In order to do this, we need to address the 3 things that are slowing down our progress. And those 3 things are lack of sleep, lack of sufficient energy intake, and lack of consistency. So let's dive into these 3 barriers and how we're going to overcome those. The first thing that's slowing down your progress in the gym is your lack of sleep. Did you know that it's recommended that healthy adults need between 7 and 9 hours of sleep per night? If we're getting less than this multiple nights a week, we're not going to have enough energy to keep us going through our workouts, not to mention the lack of recovery and hormone disruption and the complications that creates. Let me give you an example. I've had clients tell me all the time, I only need 4 hours of sleep. I have been guilty of this as well. How many of you swear that you're only functioning with only 4 hours of sleep? Well, you might not realize it, but lack of sleep will have an effect on your ability to handle stress, food cravings, exercise, and recovery. When you don't sleep, your cortisol level is elevated. Leptin, which tells your brain that you're full, is decreased, and ghrelin, the hormone that makes you hungry, is increased. So ultimately, you're more stressed, you're less satisfied, and you're more hungry. You might be wondering, but how does this directly affect my progress in the gym? Great question. If we're not consistently getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night, We will also not recover well. So as you fall deeper asleep, blood flow begins to increase, which expedites the process of moving oxygen and nutrients throughout your body. This helps to repair and recover muscles and regenerate cells, which will allow your muscles to recover and get stronger over time. Additionally, sleep helps you prevent injury and maintain energy levels. It's said that deep sleep is linked to the release of growth hormone. This is important because growth hormone stimulates muscle growth and repair as well as fat burn. Like we just mentioned, when we get adequate sleep, we can reduce our cortisol levels. And remember that cortisol is the stress hormone. It can affect our metabolism, recovery, and inflammation. So you're seeing that sleep might be a barrier. What should you do about it? Let's discuss 3 things we can do to help with lack of sleep. Tip number 1 is to set a sleep and wake cycle. Having a set schedule as a part of your day gets your brain and body in the routine of sleeping for the amount of time your body needs. A couple of tips for setting your sleep schedule include having a set wake up time, regardless of whether it's a weekday or weekend. We should also make sleep a priority. While it might be tempting to skip sleep to work, study, socialize, or exercise, it's vital to treat sleep as a priority. Consider adjusting your sleep schedule gradually. If you want to shift your sleep times, make small step-by-step adjustments of up to an hour or 2 at a time. If you're really just starting out, maybe 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and then build up a little bit from there. Lastly, we want to stay mindful of napping. Try to keep your naps relatively short and limited to the early afternoon if you need it. Here are 2 more tips when working on your sleep. Optimize your bedroom. In order to fall asleep more quickly, you want your bedroom to feel calm and free of disruptions. This might look like having a comfortable mattress and a pillow for maximum comfort, using bedding that matches your needs and preferences, setting a cool yet comfortable temperature, blocking out light by using heavy curtains or an eye mask, drowning out noise by using a white noise machine, earplugs, or a fan, or even trying calming scents such as lavender to promote relaxation. Lastly, we want to fix your sleep routine hygiene. So how you prepare for bed can determine how easily you'll be able to fall asleep. Staying consistent with your routine by following the same steps each night can reinforce in your brain that it's bedtime. Set aside 30 minutes for winding down. Take time to enjoy activities that bring you relaxation. This might look like light reading, drinking a decaffeinated hot tea, listening to soft music, or enjoying some light stretching. We want to avoid bright lights because they can hinder the production of melatonin, a hormone that the body creates to facilitate sleep. Unplug from electronics for the same reason, and instead use some of these methods for relaxation like meditation, guided breathing, and journaling. Another thing that's slowing down your progress in the gym is not eating enough. Not eating enough throughout the day decreases energy levels as well as reduces recovery. If you're consistently eating fewer calories than needed, your body will start to break down muscle to use for fuel. Over time, not eating enough can mess with our metabolism and make it harder for us to lose weight as well. Back to what we said earlier about recovery and sleep. If nutrients move through our body for recovery during sleep, what happens when there's a lack of nutrients? Does our body fully recover? No, it doesn't. Further, if we're under eating, then we more than likely aren't taking in enough protein for muscle protein synthesis. Protein is the building block of muscle. Protein is made up of amino acids that help to grow, maintain, and repair different cell tissues in the body, like muscle. So if we're not getting enough, our muscles will not grow. This stops us from making any progress despite our hard efforts in the gym. In addition to protein intake, cutting calories too low can reduce our carbohydrate intake, creating other complications within our body. First off, carbohydrates are our primary source of energy. If we cut them too low, we will not have enough energy to complete our workouts. Did you know that your brain needs carbohydrates for energy to function and get a good night's sleep? Carbohydrates spare our protein and muscle tissue, allowing us to see those gains in the gym. So how do we start fueling properly to reach our goals? The first solution is to plan your meals ahead of time. Doing this can help you from skipping meals or eating foods that do not support your goals in the gym. There are many different ways to prepare meals ahead of time that will make nutrition more convenient and less of a barrier when it comes to getting serious about your goals in the gym. For example, making overnight oats can help combat that busy early morning. Or making a crock pot of the HSN pulled chicken to pair with rice and veggies for lunch or dinner can make dinner time less stressful. Normal meals and snacks should contain a balance of protein, carbohydrates, and fat. Fueling right around your workouts is another very important aspect of planning ahead as well. We want to make sure that we're prioritizing protein and carbohydrates after hard workouts. Did you know that liquid sources of these are actually preferred because they are more easily digested? Something as simple as a protein shake that contains around 15 grams of protein and 30 to 45 grams of carbs would be ideal. Whey protein powder is the fastest absorbing protein and the gold standard for recovery and rebuilding muscle. Another big barrier slowing down your progress in the gym is a lack of consistency. So let's dive into the most common barriers and how to overcome them. A common barrier to consistency in the gym is motivation. So first off, we should set goals. Without goals, we're not really able to see progress or really know what we need to do in order to get there. Setting goals will provide you with motivation to keep going even on the hardest days. Motivation is also known to follow the action. By this, I mean, once you start working out, you'll have a greater drive to keep going. In other words, it is the success that breeds motivation. Many times our identified barriers are actually really excuses. So with the help of goal setting and commitment, you'll be able to overcome your barriers and excuses to find a way to make progress in the gym. Let's do this together. In your workbook, you'll see an area to write down your SMART goals, which stand for specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time sensitive. While our goals can include both scale wins, such as a weight goal, and non-scale wins, such as actionable habits goals, let's write down a long-term goal that can be either. Then we're going to break down these goals into a short-term actionable habit. So let me give you an example. If I wanted to lose 30 pounds, I know that's going to be a long-term goal. One thing I will need to work on is getting to the gym more consistently. So if I'm currently only going 1 day a week and it's inconsistent, maybe I write down my goal as I will work up to going to the gym 3 times a week in 2 months. Then take a moment to write down why each of those goals feel important to you. Definitely important to know the why behind those. Additionally, inconsistency can originate from a lack of support. So a good way to combat this issue is to find a community. One study found that 95% of those who started a fitness program with friends completed the program, compared to only a 76% completion rate for those who tackled the program alone. Another study confirmed that working out with a partner significantly increased the time spent exercising overall. This is a huge key to our client success here at B3. So I would encourage you to find your tribe. Another common barrier is time. Unfortunately, I think we can all relate to the fact that there are only 24 hours in the day. Wouldn't it be nice to have more? Between the long task list and other things, it can be really difficult to find time to work out. Since this is the reality for many of us, making a realistic goal of going to the gym 3 times a week instead of 6 might actually keep us more motivated and on track. If we set unrealistic goals, we'll not create the habits that will lead to consistency, but instead it could decrease our self-confidence and efficacy. So in addition to finding our tribe, we should also set a realistic goal for ourselves. So what is it that you should do to speed up your progress in the gym? Well, let's get into the one thing you should do to start seeing progress. At the end of the day, the number one thing you can do to start seeing the progress you want is to find someone who can help you build a plan while keeping you accountable and feeling supported. We want to help you reach your goals by building a realistic plan, step by step, incorporating a habit-based approach to help you find long-term success. Remember, when you have more support and consistency, you're more likely to find success. We'll dive into all areas of the holistic focus, including sleep and meal planning, so you get the most out of your workouts. So maybe you're wondering what you can do to start reaching your goals. Here are the HSM principles that have helped so many people take control of their health, one healthy habit at a time. Number one is to add more whole foods into your diet. We want to start by choosing whole food options and less processed foods packed with sodium, fat, and sugar. A simple way to start this is by reshaping your plate using the plate method. And that looks like this picture here, right? Half of our plate is non-starchy vegetable, a quarter of our plate is lean protein, a quarter of our plate is a starchy carbohydrate, and then we have a mindful amount of healthy fat. Number two is going to be to focus on balance. And when we say balance, we mean, does every meal and snack that you're consuming throughout the day have a carbohydrate, a protein, and a fat? Pairing each meal and snack with all three of these macronutrients is going to keep you feeling full for longer. And number three is going to be to limit the amount of added sugar in your diet. The American Heart Association recommends no more than 6 teaspoons for women and 9 for men. We want to be mindful of many food products that you find in packages, as they can contain a lot of added sugars. So let's take some time to answer some of our frequently asked questions. All right, what if you don't like meal prepping because you have to eat the same thing over and over for the entire week? And I totally get it. When you think of meal prep, it's easy to think of boring meals. What if you instead prepped individual ingredients instead of full meals so that you can change it up throughout the week? And this is something that I do when I meal prep as well. An easy way to avoid eating the same thing every day is to prepare a protein plain. A couple of my favorite proteins are lean ground turkey or chicken, lentils or chickpeas, salmon or beef. After preparing your protein with a little bit of light seasoning, add a variety of seasonings or sauce after. It can help you stay on track without getting bored with that same protein throughout the week. You can pair it with different carbohydrates or grains like rice, quinoa, sweet potatoes, and you can also switch up the vegetables you add to the dish as well. Pre-chopping and dicing your fruits and vegetables is also going to help to save time throughout the week. Making mealtime simple and quick will help you keep consistent and stay on track with your goals in the gym. What if you don't like vegetables? I hear this so many times, and maybe you feel this way too. But what I want to challenge you and ask you is, what if you just haven't found the right way that you like your vegetables? Roasting your vegetables for a crunch rather than mushy vegetables. You can add a good seasoning for flavor that you're excited about. And you can even find ways to sneak them into recipes and smoothies as a way to get more vegetables in throughout the day. Where should I start? And that is a great question. We want to start with one thing at a time. And maybe it's something you already have in mind, or maybe it's one of the things that we talked about today. But again, the best and fastest way to reach your goals is to work one-on-one with a nutrition coach to build an individual plan just for you. Self-efficacy is the individual's belief in his or her capacity to execute behaviors necessary to produce specific performance fulfillment. Did you know that just by being consistent with your sleep, eating, and gym routine, you will increase your confidence and satisfaction in more areas of your life? It's true. Just remember these simple steps to take. Prioritize your sleep, fuel your body, and stay consistent. Remember to start slow and don't shoot for perfection all at once. And lastly, let us help you with the support and accountability to move forward with confidence. At B3 Gym, we focus on a habit-based approach to create an individualized plan. We work with you to create your plan. You create your nutrition foundation, and we create a sustainable plan that you can build into your current lifestyle. We know how important support and accountability is when it comes to long-term goals, which is why we're there to help guide you every step of the way. You can visit our website or email me directly to schedule a free consultation so we can learn more about you and your goals and talk about how we can help you achieve them. Exciting news! Are you ready to take the first step towards reaching your health and wellness goals? You don't have to do it alone. We can help. We're gearing up to launch an amazing 28-day wellness challenge starting on January 23rd. In this 28-day challenge, you'll receive sample meal ideas and recipes, weekly nutrition tips, stress management, kitchen tips, and recipe videos, exclusive access to the HSN app, an initial meeting with our nutrition coach, a group kickoff seminar, virtual weekly check-ins and educational videos in the app, group accountability within the app, and at the end of the challenge, we'll have another meeting with your nutrition coach. We'll also have some wonderful prizes that you can win throughout the challenge as well. We'll guide you through how to make small changes that are sustainable. So you can start to build some healthy habits into your routine. And then we have the option to transition into ongoing coaching where you can meet your more long-term goals. That will give you a little bit more of that individual support following the challenge. I'll include a link to sign up in my follow-up email. Don't wait to get signed up. There are only 30 spots available for this challenge. If you're looking to hear more about how this program can change your life, tune in to the Nutrition Made Simple podcast. Lots of great information on there. So remember, today we talked about the 3 things holding you back and how to overcome them. Thank you so much for taking the time tonight to watch this nutrition talk. We can't wait to see you for our next one, which will be coming in early January, and that will be leading into our 28-day wellness challenge. Thanks again for joining me. Please message me if you have any questions. I'll be happy to answer. Have a great night.